All right, everybody, I am here with Gabe. Gabe is the owner of Early Bird Dumpsters. Here, hold on, let me get the side of the truck real quick. Early Bird Dumpsters. So Gabe is based out of Lutz, Florida, which is 30 minutes down the road from me, not too far away at all. He has been running dumpsters for how long, Gabe?
4 years now.
4 years now. So he might even started a little bit before me. So Gabe is a good friend of mine, called me up a little while back, asked for some advice. He has been running that U-Dump trailer for quite a while now. How long you had that thing?
A year and a half.
So a year and a half. Has held up pretty well. It's gotten the job done. But the problem that a lot of people run into is scaling when you get into a proprietary rail system becomes much more difficult. So U-Dump is basically Texas Pride. They both share the 47-inch rail system. And Gabe has been wanting to grow the business, but is worried about having the dumpsters adding so much inventory that he's locked into the 47-inch rail system. If you're not familiar, once you go 47, you cannot graduate to a hook lift truck because the rail widths on the dumpsters is a different size. So if you want to lock into a cable pull system, you can get a 47-inch rail truck. Life is fine, but if you ever want to get a hook lift truck, you can't, because all your dumpsters need to be retrofitted, which becomes much more costly, much more annoying, much more difficult. So I am a big fan of standard rail. I always advise people to go standard rail, but once you get up to a bunch of dumpsters, how many were you up to before you got this one?
12.
So once you get to, let's say, 12 dumpsters, now if you want to sell off your fleet, you've got to do this weird switcheroo where you need the money to keep your business running, buy more dumpsters, sell off the old ones, or spend, I've seen a lot of numbers, but give or take $1,000, $2,000 to cut all your rails, re-weld them into the 36-inch rail spec. And now you've got these Frankenstein cans that used to be U-Dump. Now they're standard rail. They're still not built as, quality as some of the other standard rail options that you have out there. So 12 dumpsters in, that's a good chunk of change. You're talking $12,000, $15,000, $16,000 to make the change, and a lot of inconvenience while you're, trying to run a business, drop dumpsters every day, staying busy. The idea that we talked through was, instead of trying to do the shell game where you're moving cans here and selling and buying, and we talked through a good option was get into a standard rail trailer that also has 47-inch rails. I'm going to have you show us through the new trailer a little bit, talk through what we got, and I'm just going to show it off to the world real fast. So Evolution Welding's out of South Florida, also the company that built my trailer, built them a dual rail trailer. So now he can buy all standard rail cans moving forward, still use the 12 cans he had before that are U-Dump 47-inch rail cans. If he wants to buy more of those, he can, but I've got a strong feeling we're committed to standard rail cans at this point. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right. So standard rail cans, you can actually see that one right there in the video. He's now getting them just like I do, doghouse at the bottom for the cable, hook at the top, so he can grow into that hook lift truck eventually. Doesn't have one now. When the day comes that he wants to buy that 47-inch, or not that 47-inch, the day that he wants to buy that hook lift truck, now all his cans are set up, ready to go. He can still run them on his trailer. Trailer can still be his backup. And now, even in a pinch, if he's got a friend that has Texas Pride U-Dump rails, he's got a trailer that can help him out even down the road, even if he sells all of his cans that were 47-inch rail prior. So let's go take a look through the trailer. So we've got Evolution Weldings here. You can see Early Bird dumpsters cut into the tarp gantry. Talk us through a little bit about what you guys did here. Now this is winch driven, not reeving system, correct?
Right. So we did the winch. We're already used to it, and we're in a residential area. This is our main yard. We have houses all around us, and we're just concerned with the noise, and so we just did the winch. I may regret that.
Well, it's also a good cost-effective solution. You
Right,
don't have
we
to
dropped
spend
the
as
price
much.
a little bit, and I was already used to it. I have the connection on the truck for the power, so
let me show them that real quick. So I believe this is called an Anderson plug. So it powers into the battery for the truck, connects to another adapter here that runs to the trailer, and now the trailer is powered by the truck's battery at all times, keeps your batteries nice and juiced up. Right. You don't have to worry about them dying.
Exactly. And but yeah, no, Evolution and Junior knocked it out of the park with this. So the dual rail, as you can see, the 47 on the outside, the standard rail on the inside, and I've already tested it multiple times, and it works phenomenal. So so what I'm doing is I'm keeping the 12 I mean my original cans, they're 12 feet long, and I'm keeping those I'm stopping them right here. They did this brilliant cutout, and we have stoppers, so they stop right here just like the normals would stop, so very safe and secure. And then we have the we can do the strap with the safety in the back too.
So the back of the dumpster stops at the same spot for all the cans because the adjustable stops here. These are fixed stops. The fixed stops is where all the 16-foot cans would end up. But if you have a 14-foot can, insert the stop there. If you have a 12-foot can, insert the stop there. And then now the weight is always distributed over your axles. So what he was pointing out, this is your 47-inch rail system. So this would be outside to outside 47-inch rail. And then the inside rail system would be your 36-inch rail. So you can actually see that lines up to the dumpster right there. That one's a little bit farther out. This dumpster is the standard rail dumpster, so that would rest on this rail, and then the outside rail would be used for his other cans when they need to be used.
Yeah. No, it's a great peace of mind, and this hybrid or dual rail trailer, it's a lifesaver. I can be out and about, and it doesn't matter which call I get, I can go and service it. It doesn't matter what can I have out there, which it was a concern starting to move to standard rails and having another trailer that was standard rail. Then if I get a call for another dumpster right there, then what do? I have to go back to the yard, flip, go. So this one solves that problem. It's an efficiency maximizer, and the quality is top notch. So.
Yeah, you were saying that the depth of the rail, so the height of this, and even the width of it, is significantly more than what you had on the U-Dump.
Yeah, a lot more than what I'm used to, and it helps a lot in the day-to-day.
Nice and beefy. One of the cool things, so this is actually a newer feature that they just started doing. They actually built in the rear lights, so you have nighttime lights if you need to while backing up to a dumpster. Mine are mounted up top. They made the change to actually embed them into what would be the bumper, which I think is a fantastic feature. So yeah, you can actually see them running right now. Beautiful stuff. Still comes with the straps for your rear hold downs, has greasable Zerk fittings for the inside roller, which is for your standard rail dumpsters. You do have internal rollers for your 46-inch or 47-inch rail dumpsters. And in this case, because he is winch driven, he has a snatch block. So if you've watched any of my videos, it's a little bit different than my setup. A snatch block essentially acts kind of like the pulley system of a reeving. It adds one loop into the equation, attaches your hook to the front right there, cuts down the strain on your winch by about half, and then that allows him to pull up slightly heavier dumpsters without wearing the winch out twice as fast. Now, the other cool stuff, so not any different than what we have on mine. You've got the toolboxes on each side. So a lot of people ask me, like, what is the difference between something like a Texas Pride versus an Evolution? And when you start getting into some of the fit and finish of how these toolboxes are made, you've got actual shocks on the lid. They have nice drain holes in the bottom so they're not rusting out. I mean, this stuff is gonna get dirty, it's gonna get gross, but at the end of the day, having it enclosed on a nice lid on the Texas Pride, it's like, it's up at the top up here. You know, paint gets in it, it gets all gunky over time, doesn't open up. These are much more refined fit and finish. Things like your step right here, the just overall build weld quality, and then in this case I believe it's just a standard feature. I don't know if they allow the option, but always hydraulic jacks. I believe they're always doing the so the jacks, I'm almost certain that's the only way they do them. They don't do the crank at all. And then the tarp gantry, it might be an option, but having the hydraulic tarp gantry is such a nice feature. Oh, he gave you the fire extinguisher too. I love it. Did you request it or did he just put it on there?
He just put it in there, man.
Yeah, so that might be something that they're just doing by default now. So great feature for safety reasons. You have a fire extinguisher. You should still have one in the cab of the truck, but now if you're at the dump, there's a fire, the truck next to you can see that, grab a hold of it, hopefully put out a fire, even if it's not your truck, if it's someone else's truck, they can still jump in there and do the thing.
Something else too. Yeah, it's not right here, but in my other trailer, the ones that I'm used to, where the fluid is, it sits somewhere in here and it's exposed in the bottom. I remember I asked Junior and he was like, no, don't worry, ours is gonna be secure. So this is a standard for them as well. So this is of course is metal underneath. So what I'm talking about is there's no option of a rock hitting it and causing a hole and a leak. Big difference too. And what I'm used to is having that exposed right there, which is it's a big risk.
Yeah, we're in the Florida market, so the sun eats up anything you allow it to. If you don't put something inside of a toolbox, that sun is going to eat it alive in no time at all.
And look at this, man. This is like next level. There's a lot of stuff. We have a battery reader here that tells us the level we're charged. We have the solar panel info as well. No, it's supreme quality for real.
Yeah, 2 interstate batteries, interstate being a nice battery. The on and off switch to kill power, that controls your light bar, which also is up here. Not only do you have the ones in the bumper, but you have one for actually looking at the dumpster while you're loading it. Charging port up front, which is really nice. What is this guy?
That's where...
Oh, for the plug-in for the winch?
Plug-in, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, if your battery dies on your wireless remote or you need to use the manual function, you've got your winch plug-in right there as well. That's your tarp system adjustment, so you can do the open and close. They also did, I think they're just doing these by default, but these are the rectangular shapes, which are much nicer. Keeps them from bending, a lot like I had with the tube style on the Texas Pride. Unfortunately, my trailer got whacked, so you can see my tarp arm is all bent. That right there arm has been hit by a truck. I've not been super happy to show it off, but she's still rocking and rolling. We're making it happen. Even with some damage, she's still doing the thing. Can you pull out the stops for me, just to demonstrate that? So what he was talking about before, where you have the adjustable stops, these inserts go in here. So that would be for your 12-foot dumpster on a 47-inch rail system. You could pull these to allow the longer ones to go through. If not, you do shorter ones. And now you can run your 12-foot dumpster, whether it's standard rail or 47-inch rail on the same trailer. Keep it right over the axles. Keep everything safe. How are you liking the board boxes? That's a real nice feature. It's one of those like subtle things that it's not real flashy and fancy, but you want to talk about a game changer. Having all your wood right there on the side, ready to grab whenever you need it. Fantastic.
I have so many times have to stop at the Lowe's or Home Depot because the customer asked for the wood boards, and now I know that I always have them on me. So.
Yep, no doubt about it. And then I see they also did the tool rack for you. Did you ask, or was that something they just included?
I saw yours and I asked.
Okay. Yeah, that is a great feature. I see we got the magnet sweeper, the shovel, and the broom all ready to rumble. So we've used this already. When did we actually pick it up?
Picked this up last week today.
A week today. And we've put it through its tests. We've picked up and dropped some dumpsters with it.
Yeah, it came from Miami. We have done 5 or 6 already.
Nice.
Yeah.
Loving it so far?
Loving it.
Game changer?
Absolutely loving it. Yes, totally. It's like we are as good as our equipment, one would say. So and this, it makes a big difference.
Awesome. Anything else you want to point out or talk about?
I mean, along with this, the containers, it's just the quality of it, and knowing that it came from the same guys, it just gives you a supreme level of confidence. Like they lock in place. There's 0 errors, and it's heavy. The doors are heavy. It's really nice, man.
How are you liking the tough wireless remote?
Oh, much better than the other one. I love it too. Really good. It has more options. I don't have to be flipping for the jack, and it feels more like a man stuff, like a man control. It's sturdy.
Awesome.
So yeah.
Well, thank you very much for allowing me to come out here and take a look at everything.
For sure.
I appreciate it. You have a beautiful trailer, my friend, and I'm really grateful that it is going to suit your needs for a long time to come.
Thank you, man. You gave me that piece of advice, and I'll be forever in debt.
Awesome.